What is my life purpose? I will begin with a quote by Carl Jung. Your visions will become clear only when you can look inside your heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Everybody wants a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Children are so excited to be alive that they resist sleeping and even find it difficult to sit long enough to eat a decent meal. For many adults, the opposite seems true. What happens between childhood and adulthood? The rigors of physical existence and the demands of modern society happen. The thing is, we are souls expressing through physical bodies on an organic planet. It is easy to forget this, so we often fall into survival mode and herd mentality. Then we find ourselves exhausted, lost, and unfulfilled. Why is this? Well, the only thing that brings true fulfillment is connection to our soul. The good news is, our soul is always with us, waiting for us to notice and listen. It is never too late. Before we get started, please understand that this podcast will not give you everything you need to know. This may only be revealed one moment and one day at a time, and each person's discovery is an entirely unique process. I am merely providing you with some key points and a framework within which you may begin your unpacking with better tools than you receive from society and public school. The programming of society and education puts us in our heads in survival mode. This is why spiritual teachings tell us to get out of our heads and into our bodies. When we move out of our head and into our body, life takes on an entirely different meaning. Our souls are brave and connected to the all-knowing force. By grand design, life is intended to be joyful and not a struggle. The reason we go inward is everything about our authentic life and identity is in our energetic system, sometimes referred to as the chakras. Everything we have experienced in the physical, including our past lives, is contained in the chakras. This is the reason we need to clear discordant energy in the chakras in order to actualize in the new energy of the planet. If going within is uncomfortable, please spend the time necessary cleaning discordant energy from the past or unhealthy energy connections from others in the present. Getting out of the head or mindlessness is not a place of nothingness. Quieting the mind reveals our connection to the inner self, which is a place of connection to everything, eternity and infinity, absolutely everything. Connected to eternity, our main purpose is to love and honor life, and then once we embrace the love that dwells within, creation reveals itself to us. What is the difference between the journey and the unpacking or revealing? I consider the journey to be the physical progression through life, which is ever-changing and changeable. The unpacking or the revealing comes from the realization of that which was and will always be there inside of us, our eternal cosmic identity. Our purpose is multifaceted, although we have specific gifts and strengths that express through us. The reveal may come in the form of inner guidance or knowing, as well as downloads or epiphanies of any size and duration. My biggest reveal was when I flipped a few switches in the early 90s, and my soul revealed everything to me that I had shut out up to that point. This took several months. The trick has been to stay in connection with that space, which has challenged me every day of my life. As time goes on, more is added to my understanding of who I am and how I fit into humanity. The process is continual. There are moments of pause and celebration, but until we return to the stars in the sky, we will be awakening and creating. We are challenged every moment to align with purpose. Whether we are alone or with other people, our purpose in that moment is trying to express itself through us. There are no coincidences. Everything has a purpose, anywhere from expressing love and joy to expressing and dealing with uncomfortable issues. The law of attraction or the teachings of Abraham seem to be interpreted by many as a way of manifesting things or events that we desire. Connection to the inner portal provides much more than things. It connects us to intuition, guidance, wisdom, and creativity. It also connects us to the peace that dwells within. It connects us to the people and events we need to propel us forward. Embrace the challenges. They are gifts from your soul. In order to trust inner guidance, it is important to understand that our soul knows everything about our purpose and our past. Our soul knows what we need and desire. Truth be known, our soul sends out electromagnetic data through our feeling center 24/7. We are always manifesting whether or not we are aware of it. The only book that really needs to be written has 3 words: love, center, and trust. However, the mind has old programming in it, so you might say that spiritual teachings are necessary in the interim so the human vehicle may learn new narratives for the soul to better express itself. Our soul knows the next best step always. Once we become strong in our alignment with our center, we will know by the energy signature that which is coming next and what to do next. This is inspired action. This is the intuitively guided life. Prepare your vessel. Read and digest the book, The Power of Now. This book is 100% accurate, and I live by it, and I see the results, having received the same information from my inner coach throughout my discovery. So how does the power of now apply to unpacking our life purpose? Simply because having our mind in the past or the future removes us from the place where we are in communication with our soul and its guidance. Society has taught us that hurrying and multitasking will help us accomplish any number of goals. What is and what is meant to be has nothing to do with the clock. The great thing about it is never too late to start over, and nothing real is ever lost. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. It's a paradox. Each moment builds on the previous moment. Do this for a while, and as you feel the momentum building, things will begin to show up. This requires being present in each moment and intentionally breathing into and out of the feeling center while keeping the mind neutral. This may sound ridiculous or trivial, but it is actually very important. I suggest you try it for a day and see what a difference it makes. Again, it is a matter of intending that the soul show us the path, not the mental body. We cannot become conscious creators without this discipline. The assumption here is that the soul knows the best route to get to our dreams and desires, as well as how to get through our challenges, so we need to trust it. Children do this because it is the natural way of being. We lose this ability as we grow older because society trains us away from it. We also tend to move away from our instinctive center because we believe it is better to try to bypass the trial and error phase that is often required to develop a clear and strong connection to it. Make the initial connection with your soul by paying attention to your breath flowing in and out. Feel your pulse on your wrist. Feel the warmth of your heart in your chest. Feel your gut. Feel your feet touching the ground. Bare feet on the ground would be even better. Meet your soul. Anytime you lose your footing, your grip, your sanity, remember this. When you get confused and start to freak out or get impatient, return to center. We are in very tumultuous times. I suggest you learn this skill and learn it well. Even if your connection to your soul is faint or weak, this is where you must begin the connection, the unpacking, in the moment. This connection only grows through practice and by using it, just as in any discipline worth learning. Alignment can be tricky, but being guided and receiving wonderful surprises is the reward. You will need to be patient and forgive yourself repeatedly for missing the mark or getting distracted. The universe is naturally forgiving, so we must also forgive ourselves. The moment will resurrect itself as long as you put the past behind you. Next, if you are going to align with your life purpose, you will need to learn how to move out of fear. This is critical. If you are always in anxiety and fear mode, you will be pulled into survival mode and lose focus of the space within. Why is fear such a dominant force and so distracting? While our souls are adventurous and intelligent, our organic brains and bodies are wired to look for trouble because we are on this organic planet that we share with countless other species and beings. Think about how an animal or insect lives in the forest, always on the lookout, knowing that at any moment it may become prey. Furthermore, they cannot go to the grocery store for food, so they're constantly looking for nourishment as they go about their day. Every moment they are either the hunter or the hunted. Sounds kind of like life on planet Earth for humans in the Matrix as well. Even though we are not typically fighting over food, our lives in the Matrix often seem like a dog-eat-dog world, and yes, the clashing egos in the Matrix kick into gear a litany of survival instincts similar to those the animal kingdom contends with. Are you beginning to see how humans got so distracted that they have created this monster of the Matrix and forgotten why they are here? There is a whole group of people who are trying to move out of that mode and into a higher realm of existence. After all, the blueprint for humanity is heaven on earth. When we move into the higher mode of existence and align with our souls instead of our survival instincts, we will experience harmony and ultimately heaven on earth. Keep reaching for the gold ring and notice when fear pulls you back into the matrix. Learn your triggers. Fear also comes from confusion. The laws of the physical world are often in direct opposition to the laws of the spiritual realm. You cannot flow with your spirit if you are in conflict. The march toward wholeness requires harmonizing of all the bodies. Learn where you are in conflict. Feeling stuck is often a reflection of conflicting belief systems, and anxiety is actually vibrational confusion and the resulting friction. A critical step in strengthening the internal connection is to learn not to compare your life and path with anybody else. Everybody is dealing with different challenges, and only the universe knows the ultimate truth in every life and in every situation. The only thing that makes us happy is getting in line with our unique soul and path. Our purpose is what we bring into each moment, as well as the special perspectives and gifts that we bring. Get used to the feeling of newness again, just like you did when you were a child. Once you decide to discover your purpose, your soul and all the angels will give you a standing ovation and begin to pour energy into your body and your life. Care needs to be taken not to interpret this new energy as anxiety. It will feel like anxiety if you are not open to new experiences and have too many walls up. This is where real energy comes from, not a pill or a beverage. Oh, and don't worry about what to do or what books to read. Your soul will guide you in this as well. Each day your soul will direct you, and take it one day at a time. Discovering our purpose is a step-by-step process, but our earthly being can only handle a certain amount of information every day. Our earthly vessel has to gradually change its wiring and its DNA as the soul reclaims its power and purpose. We have to personally provide fertile ground for this to occur. Take good care of your body, breathe, stretch, ground, sleep, eat well, and eat real food. Grow your own if you can. Take an entire day to integrate new learning. Work on having only kind thoughts toward yourself and the world around you. Negativity is destructive. I know you knew that, but I just wanted to throw that in with the list of priorities. How do we know if we're connected to our soul or the false personality or programming? We only know by the way we feel and the way we perceive things. The mind is always analyzing, asking, judging, toiling, conversating. False personality requires constant propping up. This connects us to the astral planes and the minds of countless others. Confusion takes center stage. The result is distress and discomfort. Depression comes from over-identification with the mental body. Unfortunately, this is how many a lost soul winds up committing suicide or harming others. The feeling of peace and love comes only from our soul. At any given moment, one may switch from the mental to the spiritual. Remember, your breath is your soul as it manifests on the physical plane. Practice breathing full body breaths. Shallow breathing also puts us into fear mode because the body is crying out for more oxygen, further confirming our fears. Instead, feel the energy of your breath permeate your entire body. Learning to discern the difference is key. One realm is circumstantial and the other is eternal. Wisdom, intuition, and creativity flow only from the inner worlds. The mental body only knows the past. There is no amount of alcohol, marijuana, relaxing music, or litany of other outside factors that can replace learning how to center in your true being. People with money cannot buy it. People who rely on amazing partnerships will lose it when they become separated. People who have success often fear losing it as well. In the end, the only thing we own is our soul. We come in with it and we go out with it. Our soul is our rock and protector. The minimizing and slowing down of the mental body is often taught as meditation or an intermittent practice, but I would like to get away from the concept of meditation as a thing we do ever so often. Our souls would love it if we live this way every moment of every day. This is the only way to completely and fully self-actualize. Otherwise, we find ourselves constantly having to recover from the deviations and the counter-manifesting that results. Remember, every moment is creating the next. If you find yourself stuck in a moment that keeps repeating, change the perspective, change the dialogue. Where is the mental body in conflict with the soul? Is past programming coming into play? Is there inflexibility or fear getting in the way? The return to center can be a bumpy ride, and change needs to be embraced in order to smooth out the ride. So how do we know what we need to change? Anything that challenges us and anything that we fear. Sometimes we may not know what our challenges are or what the meaning of them are. Learn how to ask your higher self and learn how to listen for the answer. Be open-minded and non-judgmental. Our greatest gifts lie beyond our fears and our challenges. I have had countless conversations with others about life purpose, and sadly, many people justify their self-imposed glass ceilings. People tend to justify their fears and inability to work through challenges until they are really forced to deal with them. Unfortunately, this often results in huge wake-up calls which would not be necessary if there was not the initial resistance. With all of this talk about inner guidance from the soul, where does guidance from Christ, ascended masters, or angels come into play? As with our soul, our guides are within. Guidance from the realm of Christ, guides and angels, should come to us in our own voice through our inner ear, not a voice that we hear from the outside. Our soul is the initial go-to because it is the energy we are and should be most familiar with. As I have mentioned, it is our anchor. Then we will be keen as to whether or not guidance we are receiving is from the same vibration or realm as our soul, and not trickster energies or dark energies in the astral plane. Because there are so many signals and frequencies, seeking outer guidance is likely to steer us off course and connect us with the astral planes until we become proficient at connecting to the energy of our soul. Finally, use the things that you discover along the way, even if you are not getting paid for it. Using our gifts and being our authentic self keeps us connected to it. We don't need permission to act on our authenticity. Connection with the soul and purpose takes practice, and it takes time to be strong and not get knocked off course. When you really get strong, your soul will know, and doors will begin to open, and intuition and downloads will increase and get stronger and louder. Then you will know that you have made progress. As you go, here are a few simple rules of metaphysics that will help guide you. Everything seeks to be whole, so until things are in balance, unbalanced forces will compensate. Everything keeps repeating until corrected. Everything has to rise to the highest available vibration. Things cannot be fixed in the same realm of consciousness in which they were created. Anxiety is the result of conflicting energies. What we perceive and experience in the world will always be a reflection of our programming and energy, as well as our surroundings, until we shift, change, grow, become more clear, become stronger, or become more authentic. We must become whole in every aspect of our being, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual, in order to mesh with heaven on earth. Thank you for listening to this podcast. My web address is alannak.com, and my books are available on Amazon and other outlets as softcover and ebooks. You may also view them at violetphoenixpublishing.com. They are, at the present time, Wishing on Your Own Star, 144,000 Points of Light, This is Armageddon, 90 Days to a More Magical Life, Quantum Leap, Intuitive Development, Living in the Vortex, and Ascension through the 12 aspects of Christ consciousness. Aloha.